Welcome everyone to our Arts Academy podcast again. We're doing this a little bit earlier. Usually we do this at the end of the week, but we decided to do this today so that we can help answer any questions that you guys might have about scheduling. So we'll start. We can start going through some of your questions. If anybody had trouble with the portal, you could let us know. I do know there was a couple quick issues when it opened up yesterday that were fixed kind of quickly. So if you were looking for a particular class like pre-calc, if you were looking for pre-calc, that was added about an hour after the portal was opened. So if you didn't see something specific that you were looking for, definitely email one of us and we can check in and see what happened with that. But basically, the portal should be open now for everyone. You have to complete it by Tuesday, I believe, is the due date. Tuesday, the 26th. If you don't complete your schedule picks, then the guidance counselor is going to have to contact you to schedule you for all their classes. So make their job a little bit easier, and be sure to fill out all your picks for what you would like for next year. I think we landed that you should pick anything you might be interested in, just in case the class doesn't have enough people that want that class. It might not run. So if you're interested in a specific class, you are allowed to pick more than the number of. You don't have to pick 7 classes, right? You can pick a little bit more to fill up your schedule, just in case one of the class doesn't go. So I guess we'll start with this. That would be the first question. Mr. Charlie, you want to take that one?
I'm sorry, I'm writing an email right now. Let me see.
Oh, that's okay. Fine art and journalism. So you want to walk everybody through what happened with
what happened to fine art and journalism?
All right. So what happened? Again, some of the questions, I guess, were it's different for every class. So let me go through a general overview. Right now, for freshmen, all freshmen are going to take journalism as part of their rotation. So that's where journalism is going to live in the freshman year moving forward. In terms of fine art is going to live as a 5-credit course in sophomore year. So nobody in MVA will take fine art until sophomore year. So they won't take it freshman year, they're going to take it sophomore year. And it'll be a 5-credit course that meets throughout the course of the year. Junior year, let me get back to. Senior year, there's going to be a fine art, studio art elective that anybody can take. And then there's, as of right now for this year, there will be an art major. So junior year, right now, we're not sure what we're going to do because we don't have enough teacher sections to take care of the sophomores that need that 5-credit art, the senior major, and the kids in the entire building that need those 5 credits of art. So since it's a requirement for graduation, we have to make sure that everybody in the building has those 5 credits of art. We have a couple ideas that we're putting through. So if anybody does want to take art as a junior, just email Mr. Buccio or Ms. Alvarez. They have a running list, and we're going to see if we can make that happen. After the fact, that's going to be based on numbers. So we're working to make that happen, but I can't promise anything from that at that point. In terms of journalism, though, journalism is only going to be, it's never been a major. It's only been part of the major, and it's going to live in the freshman year. Right. So I think I don't know if I left anything out there.
Well, yeah, because Mr. Kennan and Mr. Van Zanten have to take on all these art classes for the new requirement for every student to have art. That's why it kind of takes away from the fine art major in the future. So as of right now. So I don't know how many kids there are that are going to be seniors that are fine art majors. They are as of right now the last class that gets to major in it.
So Bridget said, if we took a fine art freshman year, do we have to take one again the upcoming year? That all depends. Again, I'm going to answer it in a general sense. If you took fine art as part of the rotation freshman year, then yes, you still have to take it sophomore year. If you took fine art freshman or sophomore year and then move it forward to either junior or senior year, you do not need to take art anymore because you've already satisfied the 5 credits of art. So anybody in MBA or performing arts would have already taken care of the 5 credit art for junior or senior year. So we're trying to make sure that everybody gets that 5 credits of art freshman and sophomore year in the entire building. That's basically what we're doing now. That's the reason for the change.
And for Bridget, for you specifically, dance fulfills your art requirement.
Correct.
So you don't have to worry about it. That would be dance, musical theater, music and audio tech, and drama all fulfill the art requirement. So if that is one of your majors, you'd really never have to worry about it. So.
And for students like Sarah, I know you just come to the school and you and a lot of your peers were maybe banking on potentially majoring in fine art in your future. We feel really bad about that. But as of right now, we're doing our best to try to make something happen.
Yeah, and again, if you were interested in majoring in fine art and you're not going to be able to take fine art junior year, please just let either myself, Miss Alvarez, Mr. Buccio know. Mr. Buccio and Miss Alvarez are going to wind up taking everybody's name, compile a list for me, and then I'll see what I can do on the scheduling side. Mr. Kennan is not leaving, and Mr. Nardiello is not leaving also. They're just being used. Mr. Kennan is being used to satisfy that art requirement. So he basically has to teach art all day like he normally does. It just won't be specifically for a major. And Mr. Nardiello is not leaving. He's still teaching journalism just to the freshmen. So he'll have every freshman will see Mr. Nardiello during their freshman year. So that's the answer to that question. Hello, Giovanna. And then, I hate to sound wrong, but it doesn't necessarily seem fair to take the class. So again, the answer to that question is I'm trying not to take it from anybody. I'm trying to offer it to everyone. We just need a number so I know how many kids I need to offer it to. That's basically what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. So if you were a freshman, it's not that you're not gonna get art, you're just gonna have it sophomore year. So instead of having it for a quarter freshman year and a semester sophomore year, you're gonna have it for a full year sophomore year. So you're actually getting more art freshman sophomore year than you used to. The issue right now is junior year. We don't have enough credits to satisfy junior year. So I'm working on that, and that's what Mr. Buccio and Ms. Alvarez are trying to generate that list so we can see what we can do for juniors. So it may not be a 10-period class. It may be a 5-period elective, but I can probably get you art. I don't want to promise that. It's what I'm looking to do.
Azalea.
Yeah, Azalea's next question is...
It's going to take some time to figure all that out. First, you guys are doing what you have to do now and picking what you're interested in, but it'll take some time.
So I know for English, Miss Separs always looks at the number of people who want AP lit, and then she sort of picks a cutoff for minimum scores. I think she's going to use some sort of score for the PSAT. For Calc, we'll have not that you're interested in AP Calc, but for Calc, we'll have some sort of diagnostic sometime right near the end of the year, maybe first week in June, second week in June, and that'll depend on your pre-calc grade and your score on that test, and then your teacher's recommendation to get into AP Calc. As far as all the other APs, that's up to the different teachers. I just happen to know those two, but it'll depend on the teacher to come up with some selection criteria to figure out what you're going to get. This question, they shouldn't be.
No, major classes won't be bigger.
No.
What? Who is Camden?
I don't know.
Can anyone recognize Camden? What major are you in?
Hold on.
Math Leap over the summer. I believe that ends on Friday. Registration ends on Friday. Mr. Greco will put all that information together and then probably email you guys back. Probably within the week, I would assume. He's pretty quick with that stuff, so he'll probably get back to you within the week.
Right, and I know there was a little issue with the email. So hopefully you got the email and signed up for the class. It doesn't matter what order you signed up for. It's not first come, first serve. So if you didn't get the email, email me and I'll send it to you. There's just a form that you have to fill out. As soon as we have all the people that are interested, we are going to whittle it down a little bit by your previous grades in the math classes that you've taken with us. So it's always nice and fair. And I think right now, we're a little bit over, so not everybody that signed up for the class will actually get it. So just be prepared for that. It depends wholly on your grades. There's no test. There's no nothing you have to take. All on your grades for any math class that you've taken with us in the school.
Tony, who's teaching calc? Do you know?
Next year? No.
You don't know who's teaching yet?
No.
Isn't it Greco or no?
Yeah, unless you signed up for an elective. Usually senior calc is Loff and Greco.
Loff and Greco. Okay.
I do know that he was talking about doing a finance elective, so I don't know if he wants to give that up or not.
And I see Bridget's question about AP Comp Science. It's not listed. I just checked the AP list and it's not listed. But that question specifically should probably go to Mr. Ra. For an explanation why it's not being offered. I'm not really sure why. I only have a list of what is being offered, and I know it's not on the list. Media and visual arts, and again, Camden, I think somebody said Giovanna said that you're a freshman.
That's Kamanye.
Oh, is that who that is? Okay.
Yeah. Maze.
If I go back to, let me just see the student counts real quick. I'll give you exact numbers. So in media visual for the freshman class, there are 70 media visual arts students in the freshman class. So those majors will probably be, I guess about 18 or 19 of a major. 17, 18, 19, depending on, obviously that depends on what courses the students want to take. But for the most part, I think they're going to cap it at 18. All right, so no, they won't be much bigger. Any other questions we missed?
And then from the freshmen, right, for freshman year, you took a rotation, right? You took one of each of the visual arts classes. Sophomore year, you picked 2 to take for a semester, and then junior and senior year, you bring that down to just 1. So you sort of decide like what you're interested in as you go through the classes. So you can get rid of going from freshman year to sophomore year. If there was 2 classes that you didn't really like, those are the 2 you don't pick.
Mary, because of the new credit minimum requirement being 40, and juniors not having electives available as of right now, the language class adds to those credits for you for the 40. So I know initially in years past, students didn't have to take the third year of language, but as of right now, as of today, that is going to be on your schedule for right now. So again, I mean, if something happens where there are junior electives, we will obviously let you know.
Yeah, and that's what we're working on. We're working on some more offerings for juniors, but that's going to be determined really by what we're running for the seniors, because they have to take 40 credits. So based on the room that may be in those classes, we may be able to offer some more to the juniors. That's basically what we're looking at now. And then again, the other question I see there is about LEAP. LEAP courses for next year. Usually that list will go out in September. Tony, you
September.
teach,
Yeah.
right?
So what happens is the first day of school, all the teachers sign up for what LEAP courses they actually want to teach. And then Dr. Gemerel decides how many LEAP classes he can afford to pay the teachers for, and what the interest is in those LEAP courses from the students. And then the final list will go out as the students sign up for it. But that won't happen till the fall.
What do you mean by taking language after school? Right? Is that what you drop it?
The issue is you can't drop a language unless you pick up another course. So if you wanted to drop the language, you would have to pick up another course, and then you could take a language after school if you wanted to. I think in years past, correct me if I'm wrong, some kids would take a language on Edges here.
Yeah, and they have to pay out of their own pocket for it. Yes.
Right.
It gets pricey.
That's if they have a full schedule and really wanted to take the third year language or the fourth year language senior year and couldn't fit it. Right. Dr. Gemerel would give them an opportunity to pay for it themselves so they can also take that. Because even though you might not want to take your third year language, it really does look good on your transcript for colleges. I mean, that's just a plus if that's something that you are interested in and really showing colleges some versatility. You would take more than 2 years of language. So this might actually be in your benefit that you are required now to take the third year to fit your credit minimum. That's if there's nothing else available. So like I said, this all just happened. This is all new to us too. So we'll work with you, but it's going to take some time to figure out what's available and what's not available.
An internship doesn't count as 40 to complete your 40 credits, just so you know. Like there's kids
An internship now go through a different department.
Yeah, that's not counting towards us.
And again, that's something that we should address too. If you're interested in the internship, you should just email. Did they say email her, Mr. G's?
Mr. G's, yeah.
Right. They said email her too. That's the way to do it. So I guess email her. You can email now if you have something set up for next year, whether it be a job or an internship. Email Mr. G's and she can get back to you with the specifics of what she's going to require for that. The other question, what do we do if there's still school online in September? We're still planning for the end of the year, so yeah. I don't even know what to tell you about that if that's the case. If it is, obviously we'd have to make an adjustment over the summer.
Yeah, we'll deal with it. If that's what the governor says we have to do, then that's what we're going to do, and we'll figure out the best way to do it. But for now, that's not what we're planning for. So who knows? Bless you.
Just to go back.
Natalia, she's asking about other APs for junior year. Usually, it's in our academy. It's AP Lang for juniors in our academy.
Yes, correct. The science APs and the history APs are going to mostly, for the most part, be available senior year.
You take more. You take about 3 tops in senior year.
Sarah asked, is the 5-credit art requirement new? No, it's not new. It has been there for years. It's worked a little bit differently. We're very unique because we have CE classes and CTE classes, and we're trying to get away from overlapping those classes. So that's basically why we're trying to make this adjustment now. Just because it's based on what the class is called, if it's a general ed class or is it a CTE class. So we're trying to get away from CTE classes counting for the art requirement. Any other APs? Bush answered that one. That's about it. Is there anything else that we discussed in our call this morning that we didn't talk about now so far?
We'll be in touch with students that we see haven't picked a major when they started picking their classes for next year. Maybe they forgot or just slipped their minds.
Make sure they hit submit. I think that was an issue with some kids. They pick things but they didn't submit it.
If you're trying to change your major or switch academy, you have to hit OK so it goes through, and then further steps will be emailed to you in a few weeks.
Yeah, you'll get a Google form.
And everybody can expect to meet with our guidance counselor to set You're going to be, especially juniors, going to be going to senior year. You guys are going to pick a lot of electives. You have to decide which one's the most important, what you would like to do first, what you would like to do second, what you would like to do. So you're going to rank all your electives in order. So start thinking about that. All these electives you pick, which ones are the ones you really, really want, and which ones are just like, if I don't get it, I'm not going to be mad.
Without giving a name, let's just go a little more specific into that, Tony. So during our meeting this morning,
Student picked every class you can pick.
during our meeting this morning, Mr. Rod randomly selected a student. Now, I'm not going to say the person's name, but I believe they had 15 courses, right, that they requested. 9 of them were electives. So for a student like that, what you need to realize is that you're not taking 15 classes. Okay, that's just not happening. So
yeah, there's only 9 periods.
I think he was just being safe, but that was too many credits.
Yeah, and one of them has to be lunch, and you also have to realize your major is a double period. So you really can only select your major and 7 other classes. So 15 is way too much. So you were actually Mr. Bushio's student, so he will be reaching out to you to fine-tune that list. As you fine-tune that list, what he's going to have to do is determine which of the academic courses you definitely want to take, because those courses take priority. So if you're signing up for an academic course, you're going to get that course before you get an elective. Okay? And then in addition to that, what Mr. Bushio is going to have to do, and for this student specifically, he's got his work cut out for him. He has to figure out, of those 9 electives, what the order is. So he has to number those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And for the most part, Mr. Bush is probably going to tell you he has to delete like 4 or 5 of those. All right, because it's going to throw off our student count if we leave all of those in there. So guys, let me know if I left anything out with that explanation, but that's basically what we looked at this morning.
Yeah, for the juniors that are going to senior year picking all these electives, I mean, it would be helpful if you emailed us, the people watching now, looked at what you picked and tell us what is more important to you, but we will be in touch. We will be in touch with every single student about their request for next year, specifically the rising seniors, because we have to find out what electives are important to you, and we have to put them into the system that way.
This question from Sarah as well for HCCC. Do they do enrollment before September, or does she have to wait for that?
That's a great question. In terms of timing, I'm not sure. We did discuss that a little bit in the meeting this morning, but I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. Kath, you've never taught an HCCC course.
No, but I spoke with the man, Chris. If you want, maybe I can just shoot him an email and ask him when he's planning on enrolling, like opening up the registration, so they can have an idea.
And then we can get that information out to the students in the Google Classroom. Just let them know.
Yeah, that would be good.
I don't think we have a good answer on that yet, but we can follow up on that.
Should have got
Brianna. Did you see Brianna's question or no? Did we? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Brianna's question. Yeah, everyone meets with their counselor. Juniors is the most important because you have the most choice for next year. Sophomores, you might have a few choices you have to make, especially media visual arts. You can choose the one major that you want. Freshmen, pretty much only media and visual arts. You just have, instead of choosing all 4 in the rotation, you just pick which 2 you like the best, and that's pretty much your only choice from freshman to sophomore year. So as you go further along, as you get a little bit higher, you have more choice about what you can take because you start fulfilling the requirements for graduation. I'll also talk a little bit about the summer math classes. They are going to be online. The sign up is in Google Classroom. If you can't find it, again, email me and I'll send you the link for the form to sign up, which must be in by Friday. The summer math class, we are looking to start June. Let me look at the calendar here. June 22nd. So graduation is the 19th. We are going to start June 22nd, and the ending date is going to be up to each specific teacher, but it's probably going to be mid August. So the summer math class will be going most of the summer. It's not going to be like in the past we went to school for 5 hours and you sat in the classroom and you did math for that whole time with a lunch break. This is going to be up to each individual teacher to plan out. They want to meet you live on these specific days at these specific times. They want you to watch these videos. They want you to do these problems. They want you to meet back and do a quiz or do something at some point. There'll be a schedule for each week. I know for my class personally, I'm going to have to be very flexible depending on whether or not my wife goes back to work and if the kids go back to daycare. So there's a lot up in the air for the specific day-to-day schedule of the summer math classes. But what I can tell you is that the teacher will put it all out there for you, and that it'll go most of the summer. You'll have something to do a little bit all summer. And we know that people usually go on vacation, but really there's nowhere to go now. So,
There's nowhere to go.
Alexa asked a question, what's going to happen about auditions? We're trying to switch your major to PA. I just put up.
Oh, cool. You got it. I was going to say I can answer it. I don't know.
Shared the screen. So I don't know, Alexa, which one you're looking to transfer into, or maybe one of your friends is. But this will then be sent out. So you can, anybody who is interested in doing that and filled out the form, you're going to get a follow-up form, a Google form, where you can fill out which major you want to try to get into, and then this will be the criteria to get into one of the PA majors. So again, I don't know what the specifics are of your question, but this would be the auditioning process.
And the counselors have the information, so if you guys need it, you can ask us so we can give you the information of what to expect for if you are granted an audition. Musical theater, okay, cool. 16 bars of a song.
Yeah, so there's the two requirements there. You can have what do you call it? A contemporary and a classical. So, just read what they want. And I think all the teachers realize that you're doing this from home. You might not have the perfect setup. Your sound might not be perfect because you're singing into your computer. You're doing whatever into the computer. So I'm sure they'll be reasonable and flexible with us. So don't go crazy thinking it has to be perfect, but still do your best.
So it's important for everyone listening now just to make sure that you picked all your classes for next year, or if you want to change your major academy, you've done that and you pressed OK. If you're a rising senior, you picked the electives that you wanted, and just get in touch with us and just let us know that everything's all right, and we'll be in touch with you to find out what's more important with your choices.
Yeah, some good questions. We got through a lot of questions. And,
yeah, that was good.
Quick amount of time. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else that we've come across that kinks in the system or anything like that? I think the juniors are the ones that are just kind of in a holding pattern right now. If they don't want to take that third year of a language, there may be a possibility. And then if they do want to take art, if they were hoping and majoring in art, or they do want to take art, again, just contact Mr. Buccio and Ms. Alvarez. And Tony, you're going to send this out to all the parents and students.
Yes.
Maybe somebody else will listen to it later and then have another question. Just feel free to email us. You can copy all four of us on the email if you want.
Yeah. And then we'll see if there's any new developments from student council from Ms. Urbano.
Hey.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
Because I can't hear half of you, but we sent out the student council elections information. So if you're interested in running for student council, whether it's one of the officer positions or even the Academy of Representatives, all of that information is in your emails, and the application is due, I believe, next Friday, May 29th. And that includes your speech if you're running for officer. So. And then we're going to review all the speeches, and then you guys will work on videos to send out, and then we'll determine the actual election days based on just how many we get. So make sure you get on that right away. And if you have any questions, just email either one of us and we can help you. Cool. That was my piece.
That's it. You leaving?
Cool.
She said
How
she
is
was cooking
everybody?
breakfast, so you know.
She was cooking. You just woke up.
Nice.
Oh, fancy.
I can't hear you, Steve.
How could you not hear everybody?
I can
Seriously.
only hear Tony.
That happened to me once when I was on this. I couldn't hear everybody.
Tony, you have to tell me everything they're saying because I can't hear anything.
There's a question for you. Oh, you can't.
Yeah, Urbano, there's a question for you. Does she hear me now?
No. Reps just have to fill out a pretty short application, actually. The videos will just be for the elected positions. So president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer.
And then yeah, if you guys are interested in good.
Oh, I keep getting I got this question a couple times already. If you're running for officer, you don't need to reapply to the representative position in the event that you aren't elected. There is an option after you choose the officer position you're running for, and it asks you whether you want to also be considered as a rep. So you don't have to do it twice. You just do that question. So I've gotten that question a couple times already. But yeah.
And then I'm sure that you guys can imagine that the student council was very busy this year. So if you want to have a voice in some of these meetings that we're deciding, you know, what we're going to do with different activities, this is a way to get involved. So definitely think about that if it's something that you're interested in.
You can hang out with us.
Now, Urbana, are you going to be? What class are you in charge of next year?
She's the student council advisor. So she's not a class advisor.
Okay.
Her and Melissa are the two council advisors, and then each class has their two class advisors.
Class advisor. Okay. That always messed me up. I didn't realize who was who. In some cases, that makes more sense now.
I still can't hear anything.
All right. The question stops.
Maybe I should go on my laptop.
Well, I think we're running out of questions here, so
yeah.
Okay.
We had a good talk about scheduling and things like that. Summer math program, we talked about that a little bit. Mr. Urbano is teaching the Algebra 1 class, so she has it a little bit harder because she's going to have kids that have never even been to our school before. So a little bit harder to organize all that. But did we settle on an end date for the class? I wasn't really sure about
the email that Nicole had sent out to my potential students said on 28th. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's it's 10 weeks, I think, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I plan to go live a lot with these incoming freshmen. I feel like it's the only way. So.
And again,
this summer.
Each class is going to be a little bit different. I'll probably go live like a couple times a week and then videos, and then maybe one of those sessions is going to be like open question and answer period, and one will be a lesson.
Yeah, same.
The schedule, the specific schedule is going to be up to the teacher. So the teacher will tell you exactly what they expect from you every Monday through Friday, with probably a few days off for July 4th. But it's gonna be very specific to the teacher, because I might have a different schedule than Miss Loff, who will also be teaching Algebra 2. So depending on whose class you get into, it's going to depend on what your day-to-day schedule will look like. But again, it's all going to be online, nothing in the building. One thing to mention is that, which we haven't really settled on, is that you probably will have to pass some sort of test at the end of this in order to get credit for the class. And it'll be a big part of your grade. So in order to pass the summer class in September, when we come back to school, you're going to have to take a paper test, a sit-down test. So just be aware of that.
Let me answer Bridget's question. It says if we double major as a senior, we have to take junior classes. How would that work? So the way that would work is the senior major lives in the schedule, first and second period, for, I believe, every senior major. Okay, I don't think there's any exceptions. A majority of the junior majors live on the schedule, eighth and ninth period. Performing arts is the one exception. Obviously, dance, as you know, is first and second for junior major. I guess drama, musical theater is also first and second. For music and audio tech, if you're a junior, that would be ninth period and sixth period. So other than performing arts, everybody else, junior major, is eighth and ninth. So if you wanted to double major, in your case, dance would be first and second. And then let's say you wanted to double major and take, culinary arts. You would take culinary eighth and ninth. So that's where it would fit in your schedule, and you would be in those classes with the juniors.
Now, just realize that takes up a lot of time. So that's now 4 periods that are gone from your schedule. So you'll have much less selection for electives. And calculus, we did settle on calculus. Calculus is 5 periods a week. AP calculus is going to be 10 periods a week. So, Bridget, especially if you're thinking about double majoring and you wanted to take AP calculus, you really have no other. That's it. That's your schedule.
And again, the good thing is there's a lot of choices. The bad thing is for some of these kids, they can't do everything that they want. But I mean, you got to prioritize.
That's that's scheduling. That's life. Nobody can do everything they want. So you gotta pick what's important to you.
All right. I don't know.
All right.
No other questions are coming in.
All right. So I think that's good for today. You do not have to check in to homeroom on Monday. Monday is Memorial Day, so no check-in for Monday. Enjoy the little break. Everybody stay safe. Last I checked, I think the weather was supposed to be pretty nice. So get outside, get some sun, get some exercise, go for a nice 20-mile bike ride like I do every weekend, and mostly just to get out of the house. It's very relaxing.
Oh, that's a lot of miles. Jeez.
It's mostly flat. It's pretty easy. Around Montclair. It's a good little ride. Listen to a podcast about some of my favorite movies and ride around for a while the kids are screaming at home.
Like you said, trying to get away.
Exactly. But yeah, everybody have a good weekend, and we'll catch up with everybody next week. One more thing is that I was planning out the rest of my classes for the year. There's really not a lot of time left. So when we come back from Memorial Day, it's only 2 weeks until a couple weeks until the marking period's over. So just realize it can sneak up on you. So just make sure you're staying ahead of all your assignments and don't get everything pushed off to the last minute. Anybody else want to have anything to say before we go?
Well, that's it. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the holiday weekend. Hopefully get to spend some time with your family, and the weather holds up.
All right.
I agree.
Everybody have a good weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Have a good one, everyone.
All right, guys.
Bye.